What up, athletes? Welcome back to my channel. We're still tracking down the Demerara Harbour Bridge. This is the Demerara Harbour Bridge Authority, Harbour Bridge Corporation. We're on a street that runs beside the Bridge Corporation, and these trucks behind the fence here, those trucks are lined up to get onto the bridge. What we're trying to do is to get as close as possible to the bridge because they've closed the Demerara Harbour Bridge to pedestrian traffic, and we're trying to get as close as possible to this construction site so that we can see a little bit more of bridge construction. So we're on this side road now. Behind all of that, that's the Demerara Harbour Bridge behind the sand, and what we're doing is heading onto a side street that runs parallel to the bridge, parallel to the riverbank, and this is what it looks like on this street. So this is a neighborhood that is on the riverbank. There are homes here, people living very close to the riverbank. However, you can't see the riverbank. You can't see the river itself because of all of the vegetation. But above the trees you can see the crane peeking out. That's the crane, which you can see from the overpass, which we've seen in the previous video. You can also see it from the riverbank, which we've also seen. These, I think, are the construction workers' quarters behind this vegetation, and I suppose they're still building them out. I don't know how much closer we can get, but this is a neighborhood that's behind. Behind the highway. In other words, the East Bank Public Road is about 100 meters or so east of where we are right now. And we're merely trying to get a glimpse of the new river bridge, Demerara River Bridge. Now, the president announced that the bridge will be free. You can see a little bit of it behind the trees there. So you can see more of it behind. Trace the crane, that is. You can see the crane as we get closer. Hopefully we'll be able to see more of it. The president has announced that the bridge, this new bridge will be free, and they're still deciding whether the other bridges in the country should be free. I explained in the previous video how bridges are paid for. Now, this bridge, of course, probably will cost about $1 billion by the time it's finished construction, but Guyana is now able to earn that kind of money from petrodollars, that is, from exporting oil. Guyana now earns about $700 million per quarter, which is a little more than about 2.5, 0.25, quarter of a billion every month. Guyana earns about $250 million, 250 million to $300 million every month from oil sales. This is what the construction site for the Demerara River Bridge looks like. So far, the government has put $260 million in a loan from China into the construction of this bridge. So they've spent $260 million so far. I don't believe that is the final cost of construction of the bridge. I believe you're going to have to pay for the ramps, the on-ramps, and the access roads to the bridge. And when all is said and done on both sides of the river, for all the ramps, the access roads, and the lights and so on, electricity, all of that will probably run the cost up to about $1 billion US. So when the president says that the bridge will be free, it's not necessarily, morning, it's not necessarily that you can't afford to make the bridge free. It's that a use of a bridge and construction of a bridge is not a one-time cost. Yes, it will cost $1 billion to build this bridge by the time it's completed, but the bridge has to be maintained, the bridge has to be repaired, there are employees associated with the bridge, so there's an ongoing and a continuous cost. So unless there is an annual budget to operate these bridges from the main budget, it means that this bridge will be a constant drag on the economy unless there is some cost recovery associated with it. So it might sound nice, a nice political move to say that the bridge will be free, but if you do the mathematical calculations, you will find that, okay, so we're right now as close as we can get to the bridge. Yeah, if you do the mathematical calculations, you will see that it will be a constant drag on the economy to operate and repair the bridge, to do maintenance on the bridge at a constant rate, and to upkeep the bridge in a state of good shape, good operating condition. And that cost will have to be borne, has to come from somewhere, right? So unless the government is prepared to budget another $1 billion US per year to operate and maintain these bridges, what you will find over time is that the bridges will deteriorate. This bridge will not last 100 years if it is not maintained. And that is what is missing from the discussion. So when the president says this bridge will be free, what is missing is how will it be paid for? It sounds like a nice political statement to say, okay, this is going to be a free infrastructure, and that's all well and good. I'm all for free infrastructure, but it has to be paid for somewhere. You have to say, well, okay, this is how we will pay for it. This is the point at which the bridge comes onto land. I think this is the last caisson and pillar that is being built here at this location at the riverbank. And after this, the bridge goes over this neighborhood, over this local neighborhood. In other words, unless they're going to demolish these houses straight ahead, the bridge will have to be carried over this neighborhood. As you can see, there are now a couple of pillars in the distance. The bridge will have to be lifted high over this neighborhood so that eventually it clears the local neighborhood here and becomes part of the connected to the local transportation network, that is the East Bank Public Road and the East Bank Bypass Road, or Heroes Highway. So that is what is happening here, guys. We're waiting to see how this bridge will be paid for. That is the maintenance and the operating costs will be paid for if the bridge in fact will be free, because it might sound like a very good political promise to say that the bridge will be free, but in the end it does have to be paid for. And and the money has to come from somewhere. And therefore it's not really a political decision. In other words, how this bridge is maintained and paid for is not a political decision. Straight ahead of us, that's the Ramada. Right, that's Princess Hotel, Princess Casino, now under the name of the Ramada, here at Providence. And this is the local neighborhood through which the bridge has to pass. So I think eventually the bridge is going to go overhead. Right, that's the shortcut that cars are using to get off of the East Bank Public Road to sort of avoid the congestion. But straight ahead here, you can see there are a couple of pillars going up. Hopefully we'll see them as we get closer. Those pillars, I believe, are part of the structure that will carry the bridge over this neighborhood. So the bridge has to clear this neighborhood. This would be the Dumbo region of the bridge, down below the Demerara Bridge, like down below the Brooklyn Bridge. So this is going to be the Dundo. No. Private, me alone. So here is we're back at the East Bank Public Road now, and these pillars straight ahead of us represent the bridge, the support structures for the bridge. As you can see, this is traffic on the East Bank Public Road. I'm just going to cross over to the other side. That's traffic coming from Georgetown on the East Bank Public Road. This is traffic heading into Georgetown. That's congestion. And these are the pillars that now have been constructed to carry the Demerara River Bridge. As you can see, the construction extends well into the distance. It seems as if this the exit ramp for the bridge will eventually connect with the new Red Road. There was a big splurge in the newspapers, locally and online, about the completion of Red Road. The reason why Red Road is important is because it has eventually to provide access to the Demerara River Bridge, and these pillars eventually, I suppose, will terminate or will cause the on-ramp to the bridge to be in the Providence area. Here is a picture right now in Providence. We're walking along the public road here at East Bank. All right, you can see there in the distance, you can see the pillars rising out of the ground. They're still constructing those. And over here you can see a picture of the bridge. This is an aerial view, a representation. You can see how the bridge will actually have to cross over these neighborhoods, the ones we've been walking through. Now these billboards are usually placed to disclose information, particularly the cost of construction and so on. What this one says is the employer is the Ministry of Public Works. There's Waits Lane, Kingston, Georgetown, Guyana, that's the address. For grievances, there it says if you have a grievance, you can call those numbers 592-2311-141 or email to ndrbguyana@gmail.com. The contractor, of course, is the Chinese CRCC, Politica Ingenieria Architectura Societa Cooperativa. That means what? Brazilian? It seems as if the engineer is Brazilian, it's a Brazilian company, and the contractors are Chinese. Here we are, that's the Ramada Hotel. Ramada Georgetown Princess Hotel here at Providence. There's also a casino there. Princess Hotel and Casino here at Providence. And behind all of this, at Peters Hall, is the Demerara River Bridge. Alright, that's where the Demerara River Bridge is located. And where it will terminate on the east bank of the Demerara River. That's it, guys. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Just giving you a tour of the current state of affairs, state of construction of the Demerara River Bridge here at Peters Hall and Providence. And of course, if you want to stay, looking for a place to stay when you're in this neck of the woods, that's the Princess Casino and Ramada Georgetown, Ramada Hotel. Want to see more content like this? Click like and subscribe. In the comments below, tell me what you think about the arrangements that is making the Demerara River Bridge free and how it will impact commuting in this neck of the woods and how it will impact the local neighborhood. Share this video. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing economy in the world, Guyana. Later!